Hey everyone, Brandon and Brandon back again at the Kabuki Strength Lab. Today we're going to be talking about improving your back squat bar position. Now, there's a few really important things that we need to consider when we look at the bar position of someone. Number one, do they actually have the mobility to squat with the bar in the position that it's in? Normally, people are going to try to get to a lower bar position so that the bar is a little bit closer to their hips and they usually feel a little bit stronger there. However, that requires a lot more mobility than a high bar position does. And if you don't have the mobility to get into that lower position that we see a lot of people striving towards, you're going to end up getting there, but it's going to be via excessive spinal extension, or you might end up having some very funky mechanics at the shoulder joint as a result of you forcing yourself into that position that you don't actually have mobility for. So Brandon, go ahead and turn around. Let's show them what we mean here. If we cannot get into a nice retracted position with a very upright spinal position without our elbows shooting up, this is what we would call a shelf position. It's going to have the scapulas really riding up the back, and it's not going to be a great position. We have to have enough mobility to stand tall through the spine, to have a very mobile thoracic spine, and enough mobility to be able to retract the scapulas fairly fully to get into that, that proper back squat position. Without a good level of mobility here in the back, we're going to end up with high elbows, shrugging, or excessive lumbar extension. So the drill we're going to show you today is a play on kind of like a goblet squat, but not really. Go ahead and grab those triads here, Brandon. Now, we actually loaned most of our equipment out for people who are training at home right now while our gym's closed, so we actually don't have any kettlebells in the gym right now. So the first thing that we want to take note of is kettlebells are highly preferred for this drill, but this is as close as we could get to a kettlebell. Give yourself like a 20, 30-pound kettlebell, something like that. We're going to hold them in whatever this punch grip position is called, and we're actually going to squat in this position. Now, this is a very, very good position to be in if you are holding a barbell on your back. Now we're going to really work Brandon's mobility and stability towards the bottom of the squat as he's actually squatting. Go ahead, Brandon. Now, this is really where the drill becomes super important to do properly. In that bottom position, Brandon is going to be really working to pull these back as hard as possible. Go ahead again, Brandon. Pull back, pull back, pull back. And this is nearly the perfect back position that we would want to be in. You can do this via a front squat or something like that, but we find that it doesn't get the same level of scapular retraction that we want or need in a back squat. Anything to add there, Coach Brandon?
Yeah, just make sure you're actively retracting. It's really easy to let them fall forward. Obviously, that makes it a lot harder. Or just going into extension, make sure we're setting a little brace beforehand and keeping it throughout the motion.
Go as heavy as you can here, guys. Do it as a warm-up, maybe 5 to 10 reps for 2 to 3 sets. Brandon and Brandon out.